One morning, while Elon Musk was having a meeting at Tesla headquarters about a new AI-powered security technology, he saw a report on the rising cases of child kidnappings in the news. In the last 2 months, thousands of children had gone missing worldwide. However, there was a common pattern in these cases. All the disappearances had occurred around abandoned buildings on the outskirts of major cities and near certain internet cafes. Initially, Elon didn't pay much attention to the news. He continued his daily routine, meetings about the Mars mission for SpaceX, Tesla's new battery technologies, and the latest clinical trials from Neuralink. However, as days went by, the increasing cries for help on social media became impossible to ignore. Families were starting to turn to Elon Musk in desperation, a mother's plea that went viral. If someone as brilliant as you can't find these children, who will? Echoed the sentiments of many. Yet Elon still did nothing. To him, this was a job for government officials, intelligence services, and the police. However, as the depth and organization of the situation became apparent, a reality emerged that Elon could no longer escape. Elon Musk, while attending a meeting about a new AI-supported security technology at Tesla's headquarters, saw a report on the rising cases of child kidnappings. In the last 2 months, thousands of children had gone missing worldwide. There was a common pattern in these cases. All the disappearances occurred around abandoned buildings, on the outskirts of major cities, and near certain internet cafes. This situation caught Elon's attention, but at first, he didn't take it too seriously. He thought it was just a series of ordinary kidnapping cases conducted by a local crime gang. However, reports from independent researchers and some former intelligence officers indicated that the situation was tied to a much larger organization. A significant number of the kidnapped children came from poor families, and there was strong evidence that they had been abducted for organ trafficking, illegal work camps, or experiments. When Elon realized the depth of these truths, he was forced to confront a reality he could no longer ignore. Police stations were filled daily with distraught families searching for their missing children. The responses given to mothers and fathers were always the same: "We are doing our best." However, as the cases increased, the authorities were becoming helpless. As the media accused the police department of incompetence, the authorities began to realize that the situation was being orchestrated by a vast organization. In order to better understand the situation, Elon began having secret meetings with some families. Late at night, he met with families anxiously waiting in different cities. As the mothers shared their stories of how they lost their children in tears, it became clear to him that this was much more complicated than he had thought. Many of the children had disappeared after school, at playgrounds, or near internet cafes. Families reported receiving threatening calls from unknown numbers after each disappearance, yet the police had failed to track these calls. Some families mentioned ransom demands that came after their children were kidnapped. They were told they needed to pay large sums of money to have their children released. However, the horrifying fact was that even families who had paid the ransom were unable to get their children back. This indicated that the issue was not just a money-focused criminal organization, but that a darker plan was at play. Some families were promised their children would be returned for high sums, but despite making payments, there was no return at all. As Elon began to investigate all the cases, he uncovered a shocking fact regarding the families of the kidnapped children. A large portion of these families had realized that their children had been followed by fake accounts on social media before their disappearances. Parents often spoke about strange messages that were received regarding their children's online posts. Many children had joined certain online groups and received mysterious messages before going missing. Elon recognized that the children had actually been tracked and targeted beforehand. The families of the missing children had been monitored by hidden accounts on social media. Analyses showed that the movements of the children were being tracked through certain platforms online, with targeted families generally being low-income and desperate. This information compelled Elon to take action. He now understood that the issue was not limited to ransom demands. Children were being abducted in a planned manner by an organized crime network. The children were being used for illegal experiments, human trafficking, or organ smuggling. Elon decided to take steps to dismantle this dark network and mobilized all his resources. He was now determined to go beyond technology and get to the root of the crime. Elon decided to combine the satellite systems of Neuralink, Tesla, and SpaceX to establish an AI-supported tracking network capable of detecting missing children and uncovering major criminal networks. However, this was just the beginning. The system would analyze with high precision the last known locations of missing children, examine online data, and look into past movement patterns. However, the initial tests of the system brought an unexpected reality to light. Many of the kidnapped children's trails oddly ended on maps. It seemed as though someone was making a significant effort to erase the children's footprints. All the clues pointed towards certain areas with high security and no connection to the outside world, yet these locations didn't even appear in government documents. Elon understood that this situation was bigger than just ordinary criminal activity. The system was tracking the traces of an organized network, but someone had already taken precautions. This system would be supported by an advanced AI algorithm analyzing suspicious vehicle movements worldwide, tracking missing children, and revealing gang connections. Neuralink's deep learning-based analytics began scanning social media posts. At the last known locations of children, signals from electronic devices, and suspicious financial transactions. However, whenever significant clues were found, the system would either crash or be attacked from an unknown source. Additionally, by using the satellites of SpaceX and data analytics of Neuralink, the patterns of movement from the last seen, locations of children began to be examined. However, Elon's initiative caught the attention of some dark forces. One night, an extraordinary cyber attack occurred at Tesla's main data center. Unauthorized access was detected simultaneously to Neuralink's servers, and data collected about missing children was abruptly deleted. No one knew how this was happening, but someone was trying to prevent Elon from finding the children. No one knew who was really kidnapping the children, but someone didn't want them to be found. Elon had realized that he was engaged in a battle against a vast criminal network. He was no longer just a technology entrepreneur. He had fallen into the midst of a secret war. With the truths emerging, Elon had no choice but to utilize all his resources to dismantle this network. Elon's intervention had begun to draw the attention of criminal organizations. However, this was not just a common gang or smuggling network. In-depth investigations revealed that there was a mysterious cult behind the incident. This cult viewed the human body as a key in their obsession with longevity and immortality. The organs of the kidnapped children were used by cult members in an attempt to rejuvenate themselves, while some were sacrificed in dark rituals. One morning, one of Tesla's offices in Los Angeles was attacked by members of a mysterious cult. The men, with cold and emotionless eyes, stole nothing, but they left a specific message in the office. If you continue this, you will pay the price. That same evening, the tracking systems of Elon's private jet were disabled, phones began to be tapped, and some employees disappeared. The cult held significant power and did not want Elon meddling in their affairs. Computers were hacked, and critical data was stolen. That same evening, the tracking systems of Elon's private jet were disabled. However, these attacks did not deter him. On the contrary, they made Elon even more determined. He began secretly collaborating with intelligence teams, private investigators, and hacker groups to reach this cult and their networks. Operations. conducted on the darknet, unveiled some of the cult's secret documents and the locations of facilities where kidnapped children were being held. The FBI and CIA quietly warned Elon, saying, "If you don't back off, you will become a target." This cult has deep ties that even the government cannot touch. They have money, people, and connections within the state. If you fight them, you won't survive. However, Elon ignored this advice. He was determined not to back down, in fact, doubling his team and launching deeper investigations. One night, Elon's X, formerly Twitter, account was suddenly hacked, and fake news began to spread about him. Unauthorized entries were detected in some SpaceX facilities. Apparently, Elon's technological solution had deeply unsettled someone. But Elon did not step back. He formed a secret research team and initiated a large-scale data analysis regarding the kidnapped children. Surprisingly, all the clues pointed towards one of the world's largest human trafficking networks. SpaceX's Starlink satellites initiated a widespread scan globally. AI-powered algorithms analyzed suspicious activities in cities and rural areas, focusing on abnormal activities by comparing them with past data. Elon's team concentrated on the areas where children had gone missing and began sending Tesla's autonomous drones to continuously monitor the detected coordinates. The drones were equipped with thermal sensors and night vision cameras, detecting anomalous movements around abandoned factories and warehouses that were typically not in use. After days of observation, masked men entering and exiting a specific site and large transport vehicles were identified. This area suspiciously did not appear in any commercial records. Images from the drones revealed the existence of a vast underground tunnel network in an area with almost no surface movement. The thermal sensors confirmed continuous underground activity, with the incoming data indicating that people were being moved. Elon's team had a strong suspicion that this underground facility was the center of the cult responsible for abducting children. The tunnels opened to similar points in different cities, indicating that the organization had a global structure. This discovery was revolutionary in the fight against human trafficking and illegal organ trade. Elon shared all the data he had obtained about this underground network with the FBI and Interpol. However, the information received was terrifying. The cult was not only made up of local gangs. It turned out that politicians, billionaire businessmen, and elite groups with international connections were also part of this network. By sharing this information with the FBI and international security forces, Elon was able to initiate a high-level covert operation. Yet officials hesitated to attack such a powerful cult directly. Therefore, Elon activated all his technology to create his own special team. Utilizing drones, satellites, and AI-supported data analysis, the cult's weak points were identified. The countdown to the operation had begun. When the operation day arrived, Elon Musk remotely managed the entire process. Thanks to SpaceX's monitoring systems, authorities located a facility where hundreds of kidnapped children were being held. However, as the operation commenced, an unexpected development occurred. Cult members realized the authorities were coming and attempted to move the children elsewhere. Live images from the drones showed the children being taken deeper into the tunnels. As the security teams raced against time, Elon's team activated Neuralink's real-time analysis system to predict the escape routes. Authorities, through real-time instructions given via Starlink connections, managed to cut off the escape routes of the cult members and safely rescued many children. However, some cult members, as a last resort, attempted to use themselves and the children they had as human shields. The FBI and special teams managed to save the children without harm through a careful operation. The kidnapped children had been kept in fear and hunger for days. The expressions of fear and shock on the faces of the rescued children demonstrated the enormity of the danger that had been eliminated. This operation not only rescued the kidnapped children, but also dismantled this horrifying network established for human trafficking and illegal experiments. Worldwide, simultaneous raids freed hundreds of children and destroyed the cult's main operation centers. However, some upper-level cult members who escaped signaled that a new threat could be emerging. However, for Elon, the greatest gain was proving that technology could be used not only for commerce or entertainment, but also to save human lives. This story is entirely fictional, and the events involving Elon Musk are not real. However, it provides an inspiring scenario to imagine how technology and artificial intelligence could play a role in solving societal issues. Do you think Elon Musk could actually undertake such a project? Share your thoughts in the comments.